Okay, we're starting lesson 6, creating a good image. There are simple steps you can take to create a brighter, cleaner, more accurate image. In this lesson, you'll learn how to use the curves controls and how to sharpen your images. You'll learn what a neutral is and how to use it to color correct your images. You'll also have the opportunity to work with a camera raw image using the improved Camera Raw plugin. Although the steps may at first seem time-consuming, they go quickly when not accompanied by the whys and hows included in this lesson. In fact, the process works almost like magic. A few steps and your image looks great. Before starting, okay, let's take a look here. Choosing your color settings. What many Photoshop users do not understand is the importance of knowing where an image is going to be published, whether for print, the web, or even a digital device like a cell phone. You read a little bit about color settings in Photoshop Lesson 5, Painting and Retouching, where you discovered some of Photoshop's predefined settings. These help adapt the colors and values of an image for different uses. If not set properly, your images may appear very dark, especially in the shadow areas. For this lesson, we will use generic color settings that work well for a typical print image. You are also introduced to settings for other types of output, including the web. So we're going to go to Edit Color Settings. And the Colors dialog box appears. As a default, North America General Purpose 2 is selected. This is a generic setting that basically indicates that Photoshop has no idea where you're using your image. Depending upon your image's final destination, print, web, or mobile, the results could vary widely. If you have another setting, it is most likely due to setting your color settings in Adobe Bridge. For this example, make sure that the default setting of North America General Purpose 2, mine's pre-press, North America General Purpose 2, is selected, and then press OK. Locate the image named PS0701 and open it. So I'm going to go File, Open. Actually, I'm going to go open it in Bridge. And I'm going to go back here to CS6, and then I'm going to find PS. It's 0701. Here's lesson 6. PS 0701. The Photoshop file right here. Note the comparison of the images, okay? So there were 2 images in there, but we just opened the 01, but you can see both of them side by side on page 189. The one on the left is uncorrected, and the one on the right is corrected. You'll correct the image on the left in the next few steps. So we're going to go File, Save As. And we're going to name this 0701_work. And now we're on page 190, why you should work in RGB. In this lesson, you start and stay in the RGB red, green, blue color mode. There are 2 reasons for this. You find more tools are available in RGB mode, and changes to color values in RGB degrade your images less than if you're working in CMYK. If you were sending this image to a commercial printer, you would make sure your color settings were accurate, do all your retouching, and then convert your image to CMYK. Okay, and it tells you how to do that there. So reading a histogram, page 191. Understanding image histograms is probably the single most important concept to becoming familiar with Photoshop. A histogram can tell you whether your image has been properly exposed, whether the lighting is correct, and what adjustments will work best to improve your image. It will also indicate if the image has enough tonal information to produce a quality image. You will reference the histogram panel throughout this lesson. If your histogram panel is not visible, go get it. And I'm not seeing it here. Let's see, what's this one? Not seeing it. So I'm going to go Window, Histogram. And here we are. A histogram shows the tonal values that range from the lightest to the darkest in the image. Histograms can vary in appearance, but typically you want to see a full, rich, mountainous area representing tonal values. See the figures for examples of a histogram with many values, one with very few values, and the images relating to each. Okay. Page 191, a good histogram and its related images for the top one, a poor histogram and its related images. Keep your eye on your histogram panel. Simply doing normal corrections to an image can break up a histogram, giving you an image that starts to look posterized when a region of an image with a continuous graduation of tone is replaced with several regions of fewer tones. Avoid breaking up the histogram by learning to use multifunction tools like the Curves panel and making changes using adjustment layers that don't change your original image data. To make sure that the values you read in Photoshop are accurate, select the eyedropper. Notice that the options bar across the top of the document window changes to offer options specific to the eyedropper tool. Click and hold on the sample size drop-down menu and choose 3x3 average. Oh, sample size right here. 3x3 average. This ensures a representative sample of an area rather than the value of a single screen pixel. You will now address the tonal values of the image. To do this, you will take advantage of the Curves Adjustments panel. Adjustment layers can be created by using the Adjustments panel or in the Layers panel. To help you see the relationship between adjustment layers and other layers, you will create one using the Layers panel. If the Layers panel is not visible, choose Windows Layers, and we're always looking at the Layers panel there. In this example, you will use the Adjustment layer to make color corrections to this image. By using adjustments, you can make changes to an image's tonal values without destroying the original image data. Leave the Curves Adjustments panel open for the next section. So click and hold on the Create New Fill or Adjustment Layer button at the bottom of the Layers panel, which if you point and hold your pointer right over top of that, Create New Fill or Adjustment Layer, we're supposed to click and hold it. And then select Curves and then release the mouse. Right here's Curves, and we're going to release. The Properties panel appears and the Curves options with the Curves options visible in it. Okay, there's our new layer, and here's the curves. If you have used previous versions of Photoshop, then keep in mind that adjustments work very differently than in previous versions and could possibly be confusing to both new and existing Photoshop users. Read these tips before you proceed any further and refer back to them if you have any questions or any problems following future steps. So you can see there, A, adjustment affects all layers below. Click to clip the layer. You can see they're describing the buttons in the Layers panel down here at the bottom of page 193 if you want to look at that. Once you choose to create an adjustment layer, it appears in the Properties panel. An example is the Curves Adjustment panel that you just revealed. If you accidentally leave the Curves Adjustment, you can just click on the Curves Adjustment located in the Layers panel and then locate the Window Properties panel. Click on the Properties tab and click and drag out of the docking area toward the left. Click on the Properties tab and drag toward the left to drag it out. Undocking the panel, This way allows you to reposition the properties panel. This is important in later steps when you need to see the image at the same time as the properties panel. You can also see adjustments layer options in the adjustments panel. You see a panel with links to other adjustments that you made. If you make an error, you can undo one step by pressing Ctrl-Z. If you want to return to the defaults for this adjustment, choose the Reset to Adjustment Defaults button in the lower right portion of the Properties panel. If you want to eliminate the adjustment layer, choose Delete. So let's explore here. Let's just drag the, okay, so we can see what happens here. By just dragging the histogram. Okay, and I'm going to go back to history, and I'm just going to go back to open, okay, to get it back to where it was for the next video.